That's as sick as I felt after a Phillies loss in a long time. Sickening. When you got a 3-0 lead, you allow them to get back in the game, 4-3 lead, 7-4 lead, and they win in the bottom of the ninth, especially with what they've done this season with leads after the 8th inning. Ricky Pitalico, Michael Barkamp, Phillies Postgame Live is on the air, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. In a moment, Ben Davis in Pittsburgh. Ricky Bo, there's so many ways to slice this game. First of all, Edmundo Sosa. We can talk about Alvarado because I'm done with that. It's really third blown save of the season, and it's a high wire act every time with this guy. But Sosa, if you go for the out, you put O'Neill on, maybe you're not doing this right now.
Maybe you put yourself into a double play situation. You're absolutely right. I mean, you could have. There were ways that you could have probably tried to take this game down in that 9th inning. But I mean, number one, Alvarado gives up the hit first. Then, of course, the walk comes into play. Then they're stealing bases on you. The one thing the Pirates do is put pressure on the Phillies pitchers. They do a lot of running. There's no doubt about it. They try to steal bases at will. And when it's working, it's working. They're going to keep doing it. And what we saw tonight was a really mixed bag. Pitching-wise, Aaron Nola was awful. Ryan Kirkring, not good. And then finishing it off, Alvarado wasn't good. And then you look in between, Soto was really good. Hoffman was unbelievable tonight. So certain guys came with their pitching shoes on. Other guys came in their garbage shoes. And in all honesty, I mean, you know, when you look at this game, most people will say, well, they blew it in the 9th inning. But Ben even said it toward their right after the game. The Phillies' bats went quiet. Yeah. I mean, they had opportunities early on in this ball game. I mean, you sent 9 batters to the plate in the first.
3 for 11 RASP.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you go 5 for 11, what's the score of this game? You see what I mean? There's a lot of different reasons that the Phillies lost this game. Yes, Alvarado was bad in the 9th inning. There's no doubt about that. But you're absolutely right. This was a sickening game. They had this. You're up 7-4 in this game. You have one of the best bullpens in baseball, and all of a sudden you're spitting it up.
It's a terrible way to start the post-All-Star break run, and they're playing 22 games. Tonight was number 1 against teams with 500 records or better. And the Pittsburgh Pirates were at 500. Now they're above, thanks to the Phillies. Let's head out to Pittsburgh, check in with Ben Davis, who watched and called this game with Tom McCarthy. Ben, where does it begin for you, the downhill nature of this Phillies slide tonight?
Well, I think you saw a little bit of rust from the guys that hadn't pitched in 4 days, and you know, the offense just went cold. They went dormant. After that 5th inning, they pushed 1 run across to the Phils, but the Pirates bullpen just shut the Phillies down. A couple opportunities in there, but for the most part, not a whole lot of solid contact. A lot of strikeouts from that, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's just a heartbreaker. Deny Aaron Nola his 12th win of the year. I know he didn't have his best stuff, but he, obviously pitched good enough to get the W. It was not in the cards tonight. Kirkring gave up a couple runs, then Alvarado there, but the Pirates had a good approach tonight offensively. They stayed in the middle of the diamond. Their situational hitting was outstanding, and their bullpen shut us down.
Ben, I mean, you look early in this ball game, the Phillies could have really kind of taken off in this one. They did score 3 in the first, but you sent 9 batters to the plate. Like Michael said, you were 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. It's more than just the pitching, am I right?
Yeah, I think it's more than just the pitching, but it's again, they got the 3 runs. You just cannot let the Pirates go in and get 3 in the bottom of the first. Then you get another run back with the Wilson home run in the 3rd inning. Then the Pirates get it. Those shutdown innings are so critical throughout the course of a ball game and throughout the course of a season. The shutdown innings are huge. I had a couple different bench coaches. They always talked about that shutdown inning and how critical it is to keep that momentum on your side. My dad always talked about Big Mo. You want to keep Big Mo on your side. Philly's not able to do that early on in the ball game. They could not keep the Pirates' bats at bay, and they let them back in it.
And Ben, just to make one thing clear for myself, for you, for Ricky, just because you get 7 runs in innings 1 through 5 doesn't mean you can't get another 7 in innings 6, 7, 8, 9. How about even 1? They got 0. So as much as the bullpen didn't do its thing, Nola struggled tonight, giving up 4 runs. You needed to get more runs to keep pace and beat this Pirates team.
Without a doubt, especially the way they kept coming back in this ball game. It was a great crowd here tonight at PNC Park. I know a lot of them were Phillies fans, but they just could not keep them at bay, and they just kept crawling back. You got to give some credit to the Pirates. They just didn't wave the white flag. They kept going, and they did a phenomenal job. But I agree. Even in that ninth inning, Michael, you got the leadoff single by Castellanos and the single by Sosa, and not able to put anything across board. Even an extra run there, obviously it puts so much more pressure. One run, it's not that hard to get, but 2 runs to come back just to tie it, it's a whole difference maker in this ball game. But Phil's not able to capitalize on those opportunities.
Ben, the one thing I've noticed when the Phillies play the Pirates, a lot of running by the Pirates. How do you shut that game down?
Well, we just mix up your looks, and it wasn't from a lack of Garrett Stubbs not throwing the ball very good tonight. I mean, his throw to second was right on point. The throw to third there in that ninth inning on Taylor. You just have to make sure you mix up your looks and just not falling in the same pattern every time. You get set, look once, and then go. Get set, look once, and go. You got to mix it up, maybe a couple different looks. And Ricky, you're a reliever. You have to make sure that you mix up those looks. Otherwise, it's going to be running. It's going to be a merry-go-round. That's what you saw tonight.
Lastly, Ben, Edmundo Sosa in the bottom of the ninth. Get the out, yes? And then maybe Rob Thomson put O'Neal Cruz on first base and work the double play.
Yeah, well, you look at it there. If you get the out at first base, maybe you walk Gonzalez, and then you got another lefty in Tellez coming up. They probably would have pinch hit for him in that situation. But if Sosa gets the out at first base, when Cruz on that chopper you hit over the mound, you have that first base open. Maybe you do walk Gonzalez. But I think in that situation, probably one that Edmundo would like to have back because, A, left-handed pitcher on the mound. That's Jose Alvarado. So his back is turned towards Michael A. Taylor at third base. So Michael A. Taylor is going to take as much as Alec Bohm is going to give him. And obviously you got to play off the line a little bit to get to that ball in the hole, the 5.5 hole. He wasn't able to do that. Michael A. Taylor was able to stretch that secondary lead. The ball's not hit hard, and Taylor can fly. He can flat out fly. So maybe it'd been best if he just goes to first base, gets the out, which would have been out number 2. Then you can walk Gonzalez and attack accordingly. But instincts got the best of him, and he just tried to get the out at home plate.
I'm crushed by this loss, Ben. I'm crushed.
It stinks. Michael, it stinks. It's a bad loss.
All right, my friend, we'll check you tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
Thanks, guys. Ricky, feel better, buddy.
Feel better, Ricky.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know. But
I was
maybe
told by a little birdie you were sick.
Yeah, is that not true? Were you sick? No, he's not sick.
Not sick.
No, he's quizzical.
I'm sorry. I forgot you were infallible.
We'll give him some tea and some honey, and he'll be fine. All right, Ben Davis in Pittsburgh. That actually lightened things up for me in this seat, and
Sure,
Ricky Bo's feeling fine. All right, but as Ben just said, it stinks. A loss like this. Does it reverberate at all in the clubhouse, or is it 101-62?
This team?
Yeah.
This team doesn't care.
Okay.
I'm sure we're going to there's got to be certain games you got to throw in the garbage. This would be one of them. I mean, that's the way I could see it for your Alvarado. Go and break something in the clubhouse and then feel better about yourself. Because that's sometimes what you need to do. You go in there, you have a stinker like that, and you're closing out a ball game. You never feel real positive walking into that clubhouse. As a matter of fact, I think the embarrassment is the part that you normally get. You walk into the clubhouse and you're like, I did that. That was me.
Yeah.
That was me out there that screwed this game up.
Good. I hope he's feeling that a lot.
Yeah, well, you
I hope
should
both
feel
of
that.
those players are feeling that. Let me just point out also, they sweep the Los Angeles Dodgers, and then they lose 2 or 3 going into the break, Ricky Bo, against the Oakland A's, one of the worst teams in baseball, and that last game score was 18-3. And we're thinking, no big deal. Now they've lost 2 straight and 3 of 4.
Well, 18-3. A lot of that came off of Stubbs in the 9th inning, if you remember that game. Let's not get haywire here.
I'm upset.
Yeah, it's fine to be upset. They lost the game that was in hand.
Yeah.
It was in hand. This game was very winnable. They didn't win the game. Mm-hmm. Yes, we should be a little bit upset, but I think you're going a little overboard.
Maybe I am.
You're going to tell me the Braves are right on their tail again.
What did I say at the beginning of the season? We get down to September 29th, pal, and this division is won or lost by a game or 2, and we're going to be looking at tonight and the 18-3 loss.
They did not quit. Their bullpen didn't quit. This is a game where the Phillies scored 7 runs early in this one, and there's not one person that I was sitting with, and that was you included, that didn't think the Phillies were going to score at least double digits in this game. And they just did not. 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. I'm not letting anybody off the hook tonight because this was one of those games where the Phillies should have scored more runs and they should have prevented the Pirates from scoring.
And through all of that, with what you said, I still thought going into the bottom of the ninth they were going to win the game. I did.
Well, once there was first and second,
shaky
no. Once there's
once we saw what was unfolding.
Well, I mean, once there's first and second, you have to almost start thinking that you're probably going to give up a run here, because a couple different things could happen just to score a run. But Alvarado's been one of those guys who has put himself into this situation quite a lot. And in the couple of years that we have seen him here, he usually gets into these situations, gets a big strikeout, double play, the game's over.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
He got a strikeout and then no double play, and the game was over, unfortunately, in favor of the Pirates. Here's Rob Thomson, post-game in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it looks like the stuff's there, velocity's there, the shapes are there. It's just he's not getting much swing and miss, so he must be missing over the plate. But I've seen a lot of guys go through this, during the course of the year, and they fight out of it, and he will.
With the different options you have in the bullpen, the different lefties, is it, does it give you an opportunity to maybe like put him in lower leverage situations, or do you
Sure. Yeah, if that's what needs to be done, then I'll certainly do it.
And you've seen that out of him over his past few outings, would you say? Or?
And it's just, the last outing was more about, he wasn't running the ball through the strike zone. Tonight he was running the ball through the strike zone fine. They're just getting wood to it and getting it through the infield. So, he's going to be fine.
What made you take Nola out after 80 pitches in 5 innings?
Just, early in the game, it looked a little bit rusty, 7 days off between starts, a lot of stressful pitches early. Again, 7 days off between starts. So, we were a little, going into the game, we were thinking of kind of a 90, 95 pitch limit, just to back him off a little bit, because he's going to be going on regular rest the next time. And I thought that he did the job, and I felt like we were in a pretty good spot at the time.
Given Weston Wilson this opportunity against especially left-handers, was it like to see him come up big tonight?
It's great. He can hit. He's a baseball player. He can run. He can hit. Makes a great throw from the outfield. He's a baseball player. So we're giving him a chance here, and hopefully he grabs it.
Is there a scenario there in the ninth where you pinch hit Marsh for him and then save Stott for Pache?
No, I don't think so, because he had a great night. I mean, against right-handers too. So let him go, and I think he just missed that pitch, the one that he popped up to the catcher.
Do you think you're at a point where you're still figuring out what your best bullpen, say mix, but your best bullpen hierarchy is? I guess you're trying to figure out where guys are best fit.
Well, I think that's a flowing thing all throughout the year, because guys get hot, guys get cold, so you're constantly sort of feeling that out and trying to make sure that, you put guys in the right spot where they're going to be successful, or where you think they're going to be successful, and making sure you're not overusing guys or underusing guys. So it's a constant battle just to try to create that balance.
Do you think it maybe gave them a little bit of life or momentum when you guys were unable to push across those insurance runs late, get some ducks on the pond?
Yeah, that can do it. Sure.
Stubbs, okay?
Don't know. We'll check him tomorrow. I mean, started to bruise up a little bit at the end, a little bit of swelling, so we'll check him tomorrow.
What did you make of Kirkering?
Not much swing and miss tonight. So, again, 4 days off, might be a little rusty.
Mm-hmm.
The velo was down just a tick, but again, got to get back after it.
And it kind of, let's face it hurt him.
Yeah.
He threw a lot of pitches in that first inning. He wasn't sharp. His only good pitch in the game was his curveball. He really didn't have a good sinker in this game. He didn't spot his fastball very well. So you put all that together, you take this as a 5 innings, 4 earned runs, and that's exactly what it was.
ERA goes up from 3.38 to 3.56. That's not really the issue. It's the 5 innings and the 4 runs, and you wonder whether or not Rob Thomson said
Rob
we
didn't
had
like what he
planned
saw.
for 90 to 95 pitches. He only threw 80. You don't stick with him. If you have plans that he can go 10 to 15 more pitches.
In all honesty, I know people will say, well, that whole bullpen is rested and they're ready to go. And yeah, but is that really the point? I mean, if Aaron Nola is going to go out there and only give you 80 pitches in 5 innings, then you're eating up 4 innings right there. There's 4 relievers down, and then tomorrow, what happens if tomorrow you only get 4 or 5 innings again? Guess what? There's all your bullpenners used. Now what is everybody going to say? Oh, these guys are getting tired real quick. See, it doesn't matter when they're tired. What does matter is that you get your starting pitching back going 6, 7 innings again.
You put it well when you said mixed bag from the Phillies tonight in particular.
It was up and down.
Up and down. Certainly, when you look at the pitchers, it was up and down. Nola gives up the 4. Soto gives up 0. Kerkering gives up 2. Hoffman 0. And Alvarado blows the save and takes the loss tonight. Here is Jose Alvarado postgame.
How have you felt about your last few outings, would you say?
Me siento bien, las cosas no han salido de otra cosa.
I felt good. That things are not going the way I want to. It's another thing, but I feel good.
Can you pinpoint a reason for that, why things aren't going well?
¿Alguna razón que te pueda decir que no te ha ido bien?
Así es el béisbol.
Baseball is just like that.
When you're throwing 100 like you're throwing tonight, is it just a matter of missing the spot by a little bit, or?
I think when everybody see 100 on the scoreboard, that's normal to me.
What have you made of your season so far, as a whole, your whole season?
¿Qué tú piensas de tu temporada completa?
Nada, que pienso que esto no es como se empieza, esto es como se termina.
Yeah. What I think is that it's not about how we start, it's about how we finish it.
How much was the Andrew McCutcheon block? Just like how big of a deal did that feel like in the swing?
Again, sir, that's a baseball. That's baseball. It's hard when you come into like bigger moment and you lose the game. That's hard, but that's the game.
The experiences you've had the last couple of years, is it easy for you to have like a short memory after outings like that?
Sí, con la experiencia que tú tienes en los últimos años, sería fácil porque tú tal vez poder superar este tipo de cosas rápido.
Claro que sí.
Y seguir para adelante.
Porque vuelvo y repito, esto no es como se empieza. Yo siempre lo he tenido en la mente que esto no es como se empieza, esto es como uno termina, ¿me entiendes? Estamos pasando un mal momento, pero yo no me voy a rendir, yo voy a seguir tirando para adelante y nada, al final de año vemos cuáles serán los resultados.
Yeah, because again, as I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and I've always had in my mind that it's about how we finish things, and I'm just going through a rough time right now, but I'll keep working, I'll keep giving the best of myself, and we'll see at the end of the year how that works out for me.